Hello.
Live, will go.
Yeah, just a minute. I'll just close this. Yeah. There's a little issue from my side. From I think there is some encoding overload from OBS, but I don't know. Somehow it started. It's fine. It is little laggy in video, but audio is fine.
Oh,
For today, we'll manage now. Just a minute. Huh.
will go, sir.
Yeah, we'll go live. Yeah.
I will go, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
One
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. How are you all? चलो फटाफट मैसेज करो सबको. Come on, message everybody. We are live now. Come on, all of you. Come on, guys. Let's start. Are you guys ready for the next session? Tell me. Come on. नहीं, I think issue है. Is there still an issue? I'm still struggling with the technical part here. Yes, there is an issue. Just a minute. Just wait for 2 minutes. But just wait for 2 minutes. Just wait for 2 minutes. क्या हो गया? Kamde, good evening. आवाज आ रही है? I mean, can you all hear me, बच्चों? Tell me quickly, everybody. नहीं, GK will go live in one session only, here only. चलेगा, ठीक है, leave it. Yeah. Thank you, guys. चलो ठीक है, छोड़ो. Let's start. Yeah, let's start, बच्चों. I think now it is fine. This should be okay. है ना. आगे बढ़े हम लोग. चलो, we were watching which chapter? Deposits, right? चलो, all right, we were watching which chapter? Deposits. Okay, yeah. Hmm. Ready, everybody? Hmm. So what have we learned, Bachu, in deposits? That whatever money you receive, that is will be called as deposits. However, there are certain exceptions, and only if you receive those money under exceptions, then it is not deposit. What is the implication of the same? If it is not deposit, that means this chapter itself is not applicable. The rules, conditions, Bachu itself are not applicable for the money received if it falls under exceptions. बराबर है. चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. So we have seen whatever money received is exception. What were much not deposits? Money received from government, then money received from foreign government, then loans from banks. बराबर है बच्चों. Loans from banks, loans from public financial institutions. Then your CP was what? Commercial papers. Then what we had? Intercompany deposits, very important. Share application money refund due. Share application money refund due will be treated as what? Deposit for the company. Okay, everybody. बढ़े आगे. Amount from directors, this was also a little bit tricky. What we discussed, बच्चों. Any money received from director is normally, बच्चों, what? Even that is money received now, but it will be not considered as deposit only if the director gives a declaration that he has not borrowed this money from anywhere else, and this thing, bachcho, will be disclosed in the board report. Then we have bonds and debentures. We have different types, है ना? Secured by first charge if it is on other than intangible, what? Intangible, then it is not a deposit, है ना बच्चों? So there are a list of bonds and debentures. Employee deposit, bachcho, how much? More than 12 months. If it is if the deposit is taken off more than annual salary of the employee, then the entire bachcho portion will be called as what? Deposit. Correct? Money kept in trust. चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. And we did also one more thing. कौन सा वाला important बच्चों? Startup. If the money is received by a startup at least of 25 lakhs in single installment, that is single tranche, बराबर क्या? By way of what बच्चों? Convertible notes. अरे हाँ, but convertible into what? Up to what? Not more than 10 years. Then again that amount which is not to be treated as deposit. Clear? Now out of here, even one of the condition is not fulfilled, it will be taken as deposit. बढ़ो क्या आगे? Let's go ahead, everybody. Yes. चलो. So the next one important. Unsecured loan from promoters. So but we have taken money from director. That was one of the points. Now here what we are taking what? Unsecured loan from promoters. Promoter which we have already done in chapter number 1. I mean that is the definition in chapter number 1 given to us. So unsecured loan from promoters. So pay attention please. By way of unsecured loan, this is not a deposit. We are doing exception of deposits. Ready? Chalo. So by way of unsecured loan in pursuance of or because of the stipulation put by any lending bank, है ना? Stipulation means what? Obviously, बच्चों, here condition. The condition is put by whom? The lending bank. The बच्चों condition is put by lending bank. अरे हाँ, that means the bank which is giving the loan. They have put the condition. What have they put the condition? That we will give you the loan provided some amount or some portion should also be given as loan by the promoter. So your bank is putting the condition that we are willing to give you 100 crores. We are willing to give you 100 crores, but 10 crores should also be contributed by the promoter. Who has put this condition? The bank. So bank is putting condition on the company that takes some money from promoters also. So even they are invested in this loan. So even they have interest in this loan. है ना? बराबर? बढ़े आगे? चलो. So of any lending financial institution or a bank. Condition to be fulfilled. Loan is brought due to condition. Loan from promoter is brought due to a condition put by the lending bank on promoters to contribute such finance. Pay attention, bachcho. The promoters are not voluntarily giving the money. The promoters are bachcho giving money because of the condition put by the bank. Are you understanding or no? Like all of you, okay? Patil, Bhavik, Vaishnavi, Bharat, Abhijit, Arya, another Vaishnavi, Tanushri, Kirti. Good evening, guys. समझ रहे हैं ना? Samita, Shreya, Shri Raksha. बोलो बच्चों, ओके? वीडियो को लाइक कर दिया? अरे बोलो हाँ. बढ़े आगे? चलो. And loan is provided by promoters or their relatives or both. And such exemption, that means it is not a deposit, is available only till the loan of the financial institutional bank is repaid and not after that. Please star mark this. Please star mark this. Okay? Check. I'll just give you an example. Okay, bachcho? There is Vishak AC Private Limited. Okay? Vishak AC Private Limited. This was one of the examples that are given. And Lakshmi Bank Limited. Okay, so Lakshmi Bank Limited is going to give loan. First of all, now Lakshmi Bank, when it gives loan, are hi na? So when bank bachcho gives a loan, by the way, it is not a deposit. Agreed, everybody? Huh. But Lakshmi Bachcho Bank puts a condition that we will give you loan only if your promoter also contributes towards the loan. That means your promoter should also give loan to the company. Are you getting my point, everybody? So let us say bachcho, for Vishak AC Private Limited, Vishak is the promoter. Are ha. So check here, bachcho. Even Vishak will give a loan to the company. Are ha. So when promoter gives a loan to his own company, that is not a deposit. Okay, everybody? Because he had given this loan as a condition put by the bank. Clear, everybody? Now check. If the company, are you understanding the example? If the company repays the loan, okay, bachcho? So they had taken the loan in 2023. The company had taken the loan in 2023, and the company repaid the loan to the bank in 2026. The company repaid the loan to the bank in 2026. Correct? All of you with me? And the company repaid the loan to the promoter in 2028. And the company repaid the loan to the promoter when macho in 2028. Are you all understanding? Should I tell you all the sequence quickly? The bank to company loan was given in 2023. The company repaid to the bank in 2026. Okay, and even the promoter had given the loan to the company when? In 2023. But the company macho repaid to the promoter in 2028. Yes, Celia? Tell me, in this scenario, when is it deposit or when it is not deposit? Can you all tell me? The loan given by bank is never a deposit. But the loan given by promoter, bachcho, when it will be deposit, until what time bachcho it will not be deposit? Can everybody bachcho comment quickly? Bolo fatafat. All of you. For which period it will not be a deposit, and for which period it will be a deposit? Or do you want me to again? Kamti, very good answer. Good answer. Very good answer. Once the bank loan is repaid and promoter's loan is not yet repaid, once the bank loan is repaid and promoter's loan is not yet repaid, for that period it is deposit for the company. Okay? Because but the promoter had given loan because bank told. So now once the bank's loan is over, even the promoter's loan should be over. But if bank's loan is closed earlier and promoter's loan is still pending, are hi Anna, then from 26 to 28, there will be no exemption. Okay? Once the bank loan is repaid, there is no exemption to the loan from promoter. It will be treated as deposit. So yes, Arya, very good. Kamte, very good. It is not a deposit from 23 to 26, but it will be a deposit from 26 to 28. समझा बाउंसर गया. Oh guys, Bangalore, Udupi, Bangalore, anybody else here and there? Come on quickly. And yes, by the way, I think I've uploaded the notes, which I think you can see in the comment section, not comment section, the description section. So I've given all the study material बच्चों also in the description section. Okay, वीडियो को लाइक कर दिया सभी ने. All right, बड़े आ गए हम लोग. All right बच्चों, ठीक है. चलो आगे. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Here also there are many things. I'll not go into it, but supplier advances and deposit, please be careful. Okay. Over here also money is received, so at times it will be deposit, at times it will not be deposit. Okay. Do you want me to cover this quickly? Chalo, pay attention. Any advance received, advance money received, that means your company is going to supply some goods or services. So you've received an advance. So it will not be a deposit for 365 days. That means you've received advance. You're going to supply some goods or services. So you need to supply the actual goods or services within 365 days. Only then the advance which you have received will not be treated as deposit. If you do not supply even for 365 days, at least for you have not supplied the goods and services for 365 days, then the money is still lying with you, then it will be treated as deposit. Clear, everybody? Yes, the only exception in that is what? if there is any legal proceedings or dispute going on between the company and the vendor. Okay everybody, बढ़े आगे चलो. चलो आयो. Who can accept deposits? There are two types of companies, 73-2 and 76. 73-2 and 76. 73 बच्चों 2 can take deposits बच्चों only from members. But 76 that is eligible company बच्चों can take deposit from non-members also, that is public also. अरे हाँ या ना? Clear? So check. Eligible company means what? It is a public company by default. Having net worth of बच्चों not less than 100 crores, so that is at least 100 crores. है ना? और turnover बच्चों of what? At least 500 crores. समझा? That means if at all you are such a big company, only then the government will have a trust on the company. The net worth of how much? At least 100 crores. Or turnover of what? At least 500 crores. Are हाँ. Then and only then you can take budget deposits from public. Clear, all of you? The small companies cannot take, even if it is public company, बच्चे cannot take. Clear हुआ? ओ ना लायक हो. बड़े आगे हम लोग. चलो. Then whenever you want to take the deposits from public, etc., you need to pass SR and file double resolution with ROC before making any invitation public within 30 days. Yes, chaliye. So before we give any notice to the public, we have to file this resolution with ROC. है ना? Please underline this. An OR is sufficient. An OR is sufficient. Instead of SR, OR is sufficient. If an eligible company, I hope you understand now, public company, net worth 100, turnover 500, है ना? There is OR in between. Is accepting deposits within the limits given by what? 181C. Now, what is 181C? We need not understand that, all of that, okay? We don't have to go over there. What is 181C? Clear to all of you? But if you're taking within those limits, then OR is sufficient. Please underline that. Please star mark that, okay? समझा बच्चों? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. चलो. Prohibition on acceptance of deposit from public. Ready बच्चों? आ जाओ. Prohibition means बच्चों completely not allowed. So check. No company shall invite, accept or renew deposit under this act from the public except in the manner provided under this chapter of the act. That means you need to follow rules, regulations to take deposits from public. अरे हाँ. And which company बच्चों can take deposit from public? If you all you see section 76 company, correct? So you can't take deposit from public unless you follow all the rules. However, there are exceptions. Means what बच्चों? Banking company, NBFC, housing finance बच्चों company can take deposit from public even without following any rules of this chapter. समझा कि नहीं? All of you tell me, are you clear or no? Tell me बच्चों. Everybody, बोलो फटाफट. समझा? ऊपर से गया. Everybody tell me quickly. Understood or no? चलेगा ना? Everybody is okay? Shall I go ahead? That means much bank, NBFC, HFC, housing finance company, on these sectors, on these entities, this chapter itself is not applicable. Please keep that in mind. Huh? Always keep in mind the exceptions. Always keep that in mind. This chapter deposit itself is not applicable on banking companies, HFCs and NBFC. समझा? Yes, Rujan, Arya, Vaishnavi, Shreya, good evening. Yes, बढ़े आगे? Good. चलो. So I've written here. Chapter deposit itself is not applicable on these three types. समझा? Okay. So there are certain points. Let's go quickly ahead. Company may accept deposit from its members by following the conditions. The rules are never asked as for the syllabus. Never asked. Okay. But passing a resolution in meeting, issuing a circular advertisement in which form बच्चों? DPT1. Keep that in mind. What is DPT1 बच्चों? Advertisement or circular. Okay. Check. Point number 5. Filing of copy of circular. That what is the circular बच्चों? That is advertisement with ROC at least 30 days before the date of issue of circular. That means it is just like in section 26 or section 26 only. Prospectus. You can't issue prospectus to public unless it is registered with ROC. So here also a minimum at least 30 days before giving the circular to public or anybody else, members also. You need to file it with ROC. समझा? Check next one. Important. Depositing any such sum which shall not be less than 20% of the amount of his deposits maturing during a financial year and kept in a scheduled bank in a separate bank account to be called as deposit repayment reserve account by 30th April every year. And such amount shall never fall below 20% of the deposits maturing during the year. Means what? Whatever will be your liability during the year, whatever deposits which are maturing during the year, the principal along with interest etc. But you have to pay it or no during the year. So whatever liability is going to arise during the year of that amount, at least 20%, you need to keep it separate in cash. And cash means in liquid form. Yes, by 30th of April in a separate bank account. Does this remind you something similar like of dividend, bacho? Does this remind you something similar of dividend? Tell me. As soon as you declare dividend, we are going to do that chapter today hopefully. As soon as you declare dividend, within 5 days, what happens? You have to keep that money to be payable. Entire money, by the way. Hang okay, फिर से. Entire money, बच्चों. Entire money. You have to keep it in a separate bank account. So similarly here, not entire money, but at least 20% of the deposit maturing during the year, that you have to keep in a separate bank account. Clear? अरे बोलो हाँ. समझा? And that बच्चों will be called as deposit repayment reserve account. Please understand, I'm just highlighting some point over here. It is scheduled bank. So not any kind of NBFC or cooperative bank, okay? And a separate bank account. समझा? All of you? ठीक है? So please keep in mind it is scheduled bank. बढ़े आगे? 73(2)(e). Again, a certificate will be given that a company has not defaulted in repayment of deposits, payment of interest, etc. on deposits. Prohibition on accepting further deposit. That means you can't take new money from public. Okay, why? Public means anybody. Prohibition on accepting further deposit would apply indefinitely. That means you can't take deposit at all. Only to a company that has not rectified or made good earlier default. That means common sense. If you have not paid what your earlier deposits, will you be allowed to take new deposits? No. If earlier deposits are, if earlier defaults are made good along with interest, then the company will be allowed to accept further deposit, but after a period, very important, after a period of 5 years from the date repaid earlier defaulting amounts. Is it clear? 5 years from the date of rectifying the default. 5 years from the date of rectifying the default. कुछ याद आ रहा है, समझ रहा है बच्चों? Tell me फटाफट, tell me everybody. Quickly बच्चों, come on, quickly. Are you getting my point? बोलो हाँ. Everybody. Clear ना? Everybody? जाओ मैं आगे. Then certain points out of these, whatever rules are there, are not applicable to private company. But like I said, questions never are asked on these, okay? Whatever I've highlighted, those small points in MCQs are possible. Chalega? Chalo. So please understand, you can't take new deposit unless you have paid the earlier defaulting deposit along with interest. And from there, bachcho, for 5 years, you have a cooling period. Kitna bachcho? See, if at all earlier deposits still due, common sense, you are not allowed new deposits. And if earlier deposits you have paid along with interest, that means you have rectified your error. Then from there, a period of 5 years will be cooling period. You will not be allowed to take any deposits. Clear? Badho aage on nalayako. Yes? Jagas. Aaja. Very important. Companies accept the rules, deposits, some important rules. Okay, now there are lots of rules also in this chapter. Terms and conditions of acceptance of deposits by companies. Any deposits shall not be payable on demand. It is not like your savings account. It is not like your savings account that you'll go and demand your money. Chalo, give me my deposit back. No. Not possible, not happening. Are haan na? Everybody? Especially also some member cannot also demand for money anytime. That give me my deposit back. There is some emergency, etc. etc. There are only hardly 1 or 2 exceptions that we will see later on. But apart from that, bacho, company is not liable to give back the money whenever the member demands. Or the company is liable to make the payment only when the amount has matured. Samjha? All of you okay? And not before maturity. So it is never ever payable on demand. For example, check. Tell me, bacho, check is payable on demand or no? Yes or no? Bolo fatapat. check is payable on demand, yes or no? Everybody, oh buddy, come on buddy, comment. बोलो बच्चों. कुछ बोलोगे? Check is payable on demand, yes or no? है ना? Yes बच्चों, correct. The check is payable always on demand. There is no, you don't have to wait for anybody or take approval from bank. Please honor my bill of exchange or please honor my check. No, it is always payable on demand. है ना? चलो. Okay. Then again, it shall not be payable within less than 6 months. That means minimum period. The minimum period for raising the deposit, or you can say the minimum period of the life of deposit is what? 6 months. Minimum. Okay. Or more than 36 months. So again, maximum is what? 36 months. So minimum 6 months, maximum 36 months. So now here, I hope you're understanding the difference between deposit and debentures. Debentures are generally taken for long-term financing. अरे हाँ, ठीक है. चलो, so deposit बच्चों what? Not be repayable less than बच्चों 6 months and not be repayable more than 36 months. Clear till here? From the date of acceptance or renewal of deposits. Special situation, very important. That means there is ultra short term requirement. क्या बोला मैंने? Ultra short term requirement. My goodness, what is the issue with the PC today? बहुत lag कर रहा है आज. Too much of lag, is it? I think I should really buy a gaming computer now. You know, gaming PC, hi-fi, high end. I think I don't know. Something is issue over here. What were we discussing? Special resolution. Special situation. Okay, that means if it is a very ultra short term requirement of the money, है ना, then it is allowed to be बच्चों a deposit of even less than 6 months but not less than 3 months. It is a special case. Please understand, it is बच्चों a special case. समझा गया है ना? तो special situation बच्चों within what? 3 to 6 months. अरे हाँ. Deposit are for the deposit बच्चों are for the purpose of what? Short term requirement. Okay, that is point number 1. Short term requirement. So please understand, normally they will use the word in MCQ. Normally the deposit tenure is from normally. So you'll say 6 months to 36 months. But if they say specially, if they use the word what? Specially, then you'll say 3 months to 6 months. Samjha? Normally 6 to 36, specially 3 to 36, 3 to 6. Okay. So such special situation means repayable only between 3 to 6 months. So it is short term requirement. But even that money which you are raising through short term requirement, it should not exceed 10% of paid up plus FR plus SPA by hard disk. Paid up plus FR plus SPA by hard disk. SPS securities payment account. Yes, still your FR free reserves. So out of the the accumulation of these three things, paid up plus FR plus SPA, of that amount, 10% of this amount, maximum 10% the amount you can raise. समझा? For short term requirement, ultra short term requirement. बढ़े आगे? चलो. Important. Deposit and joint names. Can you have joint shareholders? Yes. Similarly, can you have joint deposit holders? Also yes. But how many deposit holders jointly at a time? Max 3. Max 3. Very important. Small things, keep that in mind, okay? Not exceeding 3. याद रहेगा? अरे बोलो हाँ. है ना? So deposit holders बच्चों what? Maximum can be 3 at the same time. Joint deposit holders. Joint. है ना? समझा? Co-owners. बढ़े आगे? Alright. Very important. Maximum amount of deposit. So again बच्चों here there are rules are different. If I compare section 71 कुछ याद आ रहा है बेशर्मो? Do you remember something called section 71? Oh nalayako. Everybody? Debentures. Again in debentures also we have the rules. Then what is the limit, upper limit for number of debentures which you can issue? And the amount which you can raise through debentures. There is also upper limit for the same. Because even the government doesn't want too much of risk for the investors, na बच्चों, है कि नहीं? बढ़ आगे हम लोग. So what is the maximum amount of deposit which you can take? So again here बच्चों depends on two types of company. The company which can take deposit from members only, and the company which can take deposit बच्चों also from non-members, that is public. So we have 73.2. What do we have, बच्चों? 73.2. For what case? From members only. That is non-eligible company. अरे हाँ. And 76. That is what? Eligible company. समझा क्या? All of you okay? So check it. 73.2 company means who will have you? Which type of company which you will have in 73.2? First of all, private company. And which public company, बच्चों? Non-eligible public company. बराबर है? Because 76 is eligible company is only public company ना. Public company with net worth or turnover of beyond the limits. समझा? अरे हाँ या ना? All of you okay? So check. So depositor member, now check it. 73.2. Depositor who, बच्चों? Members only. चलेगा? So again, it is not that very risky from government's point of view because they are not taking much deposits from public. They are taking much deposits only from their own shareholders or owners or members. है ना? बराबर है? How much बच्चों can they take deposit? 35% of paid up plus FR plus SPA. So this limit should never be crossed in the lifetime of the company. है ना? So new deposits you will take, so old deposits you will repay. Whatever said and done, the constant level should not be crossed off 35% of paid up plus FR plus SP. Are you all okay? बोलो बच्चों फटाफट. अरे हाँ या ना? ठीक है? Private company is still a smaller company compared to again public company. So private company is allowed to take बच्चों whatever amount they want. Okay? Even up to 100% of paid up plus FR plus SPA amount they can take as deposits. Please by hand this table. समझा? Those who have my notes, no problem about it. This table is very much easy and easy to understand, remember. And those who did not have, I think I've already shared my notes with you. And you will see the link also in the comment description section, okay? My notes I think I shared now with all of you, है ना? बढ़ू मैं आगे? Please now pay attention. Non-members, if you can take deposit from even non-members, that is public. Overall limit is 35%, but that 35% is broken down. Please understand, very, very, very important. I'm spending more time over here in this concept, but they are important. The overall limit is 35%. But that 35% which is broken down into two parts, 10 and 25. 10 from members. So maximum you can take 10% of paid up plus FR plus SPA from members. And 25 बच्चों from whom? Non-members. समझा? So there is an internal limit. Please understand, there is an internal limit. So here, whenever the eligible company gives a public issue, and even their own members will also apply. So you have to take care that members are not crossing the limit of 10%, and the public बच्चों is not crossing the limit of 25%. समझा? Please याद रहेगा. Tell me. You will see again on left hand side here it is 35%. Here बच्चों total is 35%, but broken down in the again internal limit of 10%, 25%. समझा बच्चों? फटाफट बताओ. अरे हाँ या ना? Understood or repeat? Understood or repeat? Understood or repeat? Comment, 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 comment. जल्दी. Yes, good. Everybody? I'll give you, okay, so if this is clear, I'll give you one more exception. I'll give you what? One more exception to this. Government company. Government eligible company. मैंने क्या बोला बच्चों? Government eligible company. Now eligible means what? It can take also from public. So its net worth is more than 100 crores or turnover is more than 500 crores and it is a government company. Now a government company has no internal limit of 10% or 25%. Okay? Because but the ownership is by government. Who's going to make a default in government? You might be aware of that. There is 0% risk but in case of what? Government company. है ना? So government companies allowed. That is one of the exception. The government company which are allowed, check here, to take from public. The government company which is allowed to take from public entire 35% of paid up plus FR plus SPA. कुछ समझा क्या? What did I just discuss right now? I'm talking of eligible company. That means those who can take deposits from non-members public also. बराबर है? If it is a government company, then there is no internal limit of 10 and 25. That means the government company बच्चों can take more than 25% even from public. Please tell me, understood? I hope this is very, very important here. Okay? समझना. है ना? बढ़िया के बच्चों हम लोग? ठीक है. Check here. It means it can take it. It means what? Government company can take entire 35% off from public. That is non-members. The internal limit of 10 and 25 is not applicable. है ना? बच्चों ओके, ठीक है ना? हाँ, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Ceiling limit on rate of interest or brokerage, that is okay. Any rate of interest or any amount of brokerage is allowed, subject to maximum rate prescribed by RBI, that is okay. The company shall create a charge on assets. Okay, the company shall, I think we had ceiling limit yesterday only, we saw, no, not yesterday, but we have not yet seen. But there is a ceiling limit on rule number 13, commission to be paid in case of shares and debentures, na? If you remember, बच्चों ना, not section, rule 13 of that share capital chapter, या फिर prospectus chapter it was, है ना? Then 5% you can give on shares and 2.5% you can give on debentures. याद आ रहा है? So here on deposits there is no ceiling limit on the commission, or you can say brokerage. समझा? Company shall create a charge on assets. That means, बच्चों, tell me, creating a charge, is it, बच्चों, security or no? Tell me फटाफट. Creating a charge means what? It is a security or no on the assets? Yes. On which asset, बच्चों, which are given in schedule 3? Star mark is very important, excluding intangible. Please understand, they will give in case study that the security is created on copyright, goodwill, etc. Then bachcho, that is not to be included. Okay, that we will exclude. You can't, or you should not, or that will not be considered. What? The charge created on intangible assets will not be considered. समझा क्या बच्चों? Everybody, whenever we are talking about secured deposits, clear? आगे बढ़े हम लोग बच्चों. Important, please understand, very important. आ जाओ. And is all okay यार. Small thing, that is not that important. Appointment of trustee for deposit, star mark. Appointment of trustee for depositors. Why do we need trustee for depositor, bachcho? Because there are many depositors, hundreds and thousands and lakhs, bachcho, maybe, of depositors. And again, their hard-earned money is lying with company and the company can misuse it. So we need a mediator who will take care and who will be a responsible, or you can say representative of all the depositors. And who do we appoint for that then? Trustee. Clearly, everybody? Trustee, I hope you understand, this word comes from the manager of a trust. The manager of a trust is called as trustee. So trustee manages the trust, or you can say fund of the trust. So what is the fund over here? Kind of the deposits, and the deposits which are received by the company. समझा? आगे बढ़े हम लोग बच्चा. Okay, आ जाओ. Appointment of trustee for depositors. Okay, company referred in 73(2) means what? Those who can take only from members or eligible company can issue circular or advertisement inviting secure deposits. I mean, if at all you're giving secure deposits, then it is allowed to, you are allowed to give the circular only if company appoints one or more trustee for deposits. That means you can't even give advertisements. It means, what? You can't even give advertisements, without appointing a trustee. If at all you are issuing what? Secured deposits. Okay? Whatever. Written consent of deposit, written consent of trustee should be taken before such appointment, and that advertisement or circular will be clear-cut mentioned that a consent has been received. The company shall sign a deposit trust deed, just like a partnership deed. It is required for registration, है ना? Similarly, a trust deed is required for registration. So deposit trust deed shall be signed by the company in form DPT2. What was DPT1? DPT1 was circular or advertisement, है ना? For the purpose of deposits. DPT2, deposit trust deed. At least 7 days before. At least 7 days what? Before issuing the circular. बराबर है? Or circular in the form of advertisement. So here, before you give the issue to the public, or before you give the advertisement to the public, at least 7 days minimum before that, you should have registered and appointed the trustee. Clear? बच्चों okay? ठीक है. Disqualification of trustees, again important. This can be a direct question and it has been asked for debenture also, bachcho, as well as deposit also. Okay, disqualification of trustee, that means who all are not allowed to be trustee. Again, common sense, but yesterday also we had seen in the case of auditors, a person related to the management, will never be a trustee. Agreed, bachcho? अरे बोलो हाँ, ऑनलाइन वालों फटाफट. Because here we appointed trustee for the benefit of depositors. So we need a neutral party. We need बच्चों what a neutral party. Clear है? चलो. So disqualification of trustee. Director, KMP, any other officer or employee. Okay, check who are not allowed. Director, can you be बच्चों trustee? No. KMP, no. Any other officer or employee of the company allowed? No. And not just the company. The holding, subsidiary or even associate company. Director, KMP, officer, employee of these total 4 companies. Company itself, holding, subsidiary, associate. Are ha ya na? Of those 4 companies, any of these people, director, KMP, officer, employee, not allowed to be trustee for depositors. Samjha? Then the depositor himself, but also cannot be a trustee. Okay, because again he is under pressure. The company will repay or not repay his own deposits. You know? So depositor also not allowed. Clear till here? Then a person indebted means what? बच्चों debtor. अरे हाँ या ना? A person indebted to the company or the holding company or subsidiary or associate or your subsidiary of holding company. अरे हाँ, that is what fellow company, fellow subsidiary company. Check debtor. Something similar you have done in बच्चों disqualifications here in chapter 10 audit and auditors. याद आ रहा है कि नहीं? Yes, Celia. So what debtor of the company or holding or associate or subsidiary or a fellow subsidiary which will not debtor again not allowed. Clear? Because he is again liable to pay money to the company. So he'll be under pressure. He will not be take good care of the depositors. समझा? आगे. Then क्या बोला बच्चों? The person having any material means what? You know, significant. Pecuniary means monetary relationship with the company. Then such person has entered into a guarantee arrangement in respect of the principal debt secured. Principal debt secured by the deposits or interest thereon. Then persons related to their relatives बच्चों, director, KMP officer or employee. So those were not allowed, as well as their relatives are also not allowed. Yes, everybody. ठीक है? हुआ? So check. At least you should have. You should be aware of this. This 1, 2, 3, 4. अरे हाँ. At least this 4 points you should be remembering. Okay. Director, etc. Okay, everybody. Or employee and their relatives. Then depositor and debtor. At least these 4 points you should remember. Right? Everybody okay? बढ़े आगे. ऑल राइट, बढ़े आगे बच्चे हम लोग. चलो. Application form for making deposits. Application form should be filed by intending depositor only. That means nobody should file a form on behalf of anybody else. The one who wants to give the deposit, he only should fill the form. Application form should have declaration that deposit is not being made out of money borrowed by the applicant. क्या समझा? Same बच्चा application, same like declaration will be given by director that I have not borrowed money to make deposits with the company. So here again same thing. To have a very fair treatment, the applicant बच्चों should write give a declaration that he has not borrowed money from anywhere else to make the deposits. समझा? Fine. आगे बढ़े हम लोग. Whatever is important that बच्चों will cover. आ जाओ. Registration of deposit बच्चों the company has to maintain, है ना? So how many years? Check. The registration to be preserved in good order for a period of at least 8 years from the financial year in which the last entry in the register is made. You know, whatever the last entry in the register, that whichever financial year that last entry belongs to, from there complete 8 years you have to maintain what बच्चों? The deposit register. So, okay everybody, simple. हुआ? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. Everybody बच्चों. आ जाओ. Premature repayment of deposits. What do you mean premature? Before due date. What was our due date normally? 6 to 36 months. So even if I got hanged, I think the video got hanged. Yeah, what is this? There's some issue. I don't know. Hold on, बच्चों. looks fine now. Ready, बच्चों? Are we okay here? Yeah, looks okay. Pre-motion means what? Within whatever was the due date between 6 months to 36 months. So before the due date itself, you want the money back. That is premature repayment. Okay. Either the depositor is asking earlier or the company is but involuntarily, compulsorily paying off the money earlier. Okay, everybody? So check. After 6 months, but before maturity date, if depositor request for premature payment, interest will be paid at the rate of 1% less than eligible. This is guaranteed kind of questions for MCQs, okay, or case studies. Ready, everybody? How much? What was the kind of penalty over here? 1% less than whatever we had agreed. Of that, which will pay 1% less. Samjha? That is, you can say penalty. Then the period for which the deposit has run, that means it was active or alive. If it contains any part of the year which is less than 6 months, then it shall be excluded. Otherwise, it is if that part is 6 months or more, then it shall be taken as 1 year. Small bachcho example I'll give you. Chalega? I'll write on here. See, the agreement was 10% per annum rate of interest. है ना rate. समझा? Everybody? Then deposit start date. Deposit, I'm writing what? Deposit start date. Start. Let us say 1 July 23. The tenure is बच्चों let us say 3 years. कुछ समझा कि नहीं समझा? The tenure बच्चों is what? 3 years. And then बच्चों if at all you request deposit refund, I'm writing, okay? Deposit refund request. Let us say बच्चों it is put on, okay? It is on put on 1st April 25. चलेगा? 1st April 25. Can you tell me बच्चों? Can you tell me for how many years and at what rate we will pay the interest? For how many months rather, tell me, or how many years, whatever it is, you tell me. All of you. For how many months? Give me a number of months if you want. For how many months, bachcho, will you give the interest? All of you type. जितने भी लोग live हो, please all of you type quickly. Arya, good answer. Correct. 24 months at the rate of 9%. अगर नहीं समझा please ask in the comment. अगर नहीं समझा तो please ask in the comment. If you want me to explain, please ask in the comment. All of you are not commenting. What happened, bachcho? 9% is okay. 9% is okay because an option will be given 9% in all the 4 options. But they'll ask you or they will give you number of months. They'll give bachcho 20, they'll give you 18 months. They'll give you 24 months. They will give you, let us say, 22 months, etc. and 30 months, whatever it is. Okay? Okay, now please understand. Pay attention. So what does the rule say? Whenever there is premature payment or premature withdrawal or premature request, है ना? See, first of all, the tenure was what, bachcho? It started on 1/7/23. अरे हाँ है ना? And it was bachcho going to be for total 3 years. So 24, 25, 26. So the deposit was due, let us say, on 1/7/26. Before that, there is a request on 1/4/25. Now, what does that law say? That on 1/4/25 is requesting, so we will pay him back the principal along with interest, hai na? But the period, pay attention now, for which the deposit has run. The period for which the deposit has run. Now we'll see here. Has it completely run for 2 years or 24 months? No. How much is it, बच्चों? How much is from 1/7/23 to 1/4/25? April, May, June. 3 months gone. Is it, बच्चों, run for 21 months? Tell me. From 1/7/23 to 1/4/25, बच्चों, can I say it is 21 months? Or बच्चों, can I say it is 1 year? And what? How many months then? 18, na? 18 is what? 6, 19, 20, 21. 1 year, 9 months. Tell me, bachcho, is it correct? Something like that. All of you tell me. From 1/7/23 to 1/4/25, how many years and how many months it is? It is, bachcho, 1 year and 9 months. Is it okay, bachcho? 1 month here and there, but yeah, no issues. Clear till here? Now, what does it say? If the part of the year is 6 months or more, if the part of the year is 6 months or more, we will consider that as full year. अरे हाँ या ना? So that's why, बच्चों, this 9 months will be taken as, okay, this 9 months बच्चों will be taken as 12 months, or you can say that's 9 months बच्चों will be taken as entire 1 year. So the initial first 1 year and this 9 months बच्चों will be taken as 1 year. So total बच्चों how many years? 2 years. It is 24 months. But what we had agreed at 10%, but that penalty बच्चों 1% will be levied, so will be paid at 9%. All of you okay till here? अरे बोलो हाँ. I'll give you one more example. We'll keep it same, something similar, very much similar. 1/7/23 बराबर है कि नहीं बच्चों? 1/7/23. Okay. Well, that is the deposit start date. Again, tenure is 3 years. That is also okay. This is also okay. But let me change this here. Let me say the deposit which was requested on 1st October 24. चलो बता फटाफट. This is very simple now for you. अभी भी नहीं समझे तो प्लीज आस्क का बच्चों. नहीं समझे तो पूछने का. बिंदास. Everybody, नलायको जल्दी. Give me bachcho number of months, that is, or period for which the interest will be paid, and I hope this much to you know at the rate of 9%. But for how many months or how many years, whatever it is, please tell me. Good. Now we'll check here. Shikha, pay attention. This is how many exactly? How much is it exactly? This is now 1 year and what, almost 4 months. And from 1/7/23 to 1/7/20, July 24, July, August, September, है ना? So it is like 1 year, 3 months, 1 year, 3 months, है ना? 1 year, 3 months. Now if that part of the year or fraction of the year is less than 6 months, we ignore that part. कुछ समझा क्या? All of you okay? Shika understood? So we'll give it only for 1 year now. Okay? That is 12 months or whatever you want to write. But 1 year bachcho the rate of 9. This is same logic bachcho we do in income tax in gratuity, if you remember. In one of the part, we ignore fraction years, and in another part bachcho, we keep the fraction years. हुआ? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. ऑनलाइन ऑल ओके? बढ़े आगे हम लोग. चलो. एनी डाउट प्लीज आस्क मी. ओके गुड. आगे. चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग बच्चों. ठीक है. एक्सेप्शन दैट मीन रिडक्शन बच्चों 1% रेट इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल. ओके, बाय हार्ट कर लेना इसको. डिपॉजिट इज प्रीमच्योरली रीपेड. To comply with Rule 3, that is what? Premature repayment made in order to reduce the total amount of deposits to bring it within the permissible limits. Okay. Now what is Rule 3 बच्चों? Check here. Just now we did ना, today only we did ना. किधर गया वो? Rule 3. The maximum amount of deposits we can take. So whatever deposits you knew you are taking, to keep all of them within limits. That's why you are repaying earlier deposits. अरे हाँ या ना? So here it is whose mistake, बच्चों? Is it a depositor's mistake? Is it a deposit holder's mistake, bachcho? No, it is mistake of the company. So your company had to keep the deposit within the limits, had to repay the some of the earlier deposits even before their due date. That's why, because it is company's mistake, the 1% penalty, bachcho, will not be charged. That means the full interest will be paid at whatever rate we had agreed. Samjha? All of you okay? Bachcho. That is the exception number 1. Second, deposit is prematurely repaid to provide for war risk or other related benefits to the personnel of who बच्चों? Navy, military or air force, that is defense, है ना? Or to their families during the period of the emergency. That is okay. So there are 2 exceptions. Please याद रखो. बढ़े आगे हम लोग बच्चों. अब ये this is बच्चों more interesting and more complex also. So please pay attention अच्छे से. So much of coloring I've put over here earlier, ना? ठीक है. No problem. I hope all of you got my notes. बच्चों बताओ फटाफट. बोलो बच्चों. Everybody, especially Mangalore students, you got my notes or no? Rule being very dangerous, you can see, and very tough to understand also. But if a question is asked, we can manage it. Second proviso: premature closure of deposit, closing down to earn higher rate of interest. To earn matured higher rate of interest. Okay, everybody? That means what? Let us say deposit was given by a company in 2023, or let us say 22, at the rate of 7% per annum. The market was bad that time, or whatever it is. Fine. So somebody बच्चों applied for the deposit for 3 years. चलेगा? Somebody applied, है ना? That and the deposit बच्चों at that tenure was for 3 years given in. So what is the maturity period? Maturity. A year 2000, let us say whatever, okay, 25, 3, 23, 24, 25, 2025. Okay. Now please understand. The company gave new deposits. Issue give means what? Issued. Okay, new deposits in the year 2024. Are you all still with me? I'm just writing year 1 and this I'm writing bachcho 2. Chalega? So deposit number 1 was bachcho maturing where? In 2025. But before that maturity, the company issuing new deposits. Okay? At the rate of 10% per annum. Are ha ya na? So this earlier, the first deposit, the one who have invested in first deposit, they're a little bit, you can say, unsatisfied, unhappy that you are giving a higher rate of interest to others. Are ha ya na? So bachcho, what will happen? What they can ask? They can ask, see, our money is still lying with you only. Who is saying this to who? The depositor bachcho are saying this to the company that our money is lying with you only. So why don't you convert our deposits from 1 to 2 and give us higher rate of interest? अरे कुछ समझा everybody? So depositors are requesting or telling the company close our deposit number 1 and transfer our money to deposit number 2. Is it okay till here? Fine. Oh, no, like, is it clear or no? But to do this, this conversion you can say, okay? To do this, the maturity, okay, bachcho, the maturity. Now check. When are you doing the bachcho? When are you converting it? You are converting bachcho in 2024. That means how much period is still pending for the first deposit to be matured? Can you all tell me, bachcho? In 2024, you are requesting the company to convert in deposit number 2. बराबर है? So deposit number 1, how much year is still बच्चों pending? Is 1 year बच्चों still pending or no? ओ नलायको, everybody समझ रहे कि नहीं बच्चों को? बताओ मुझको बच्चों, ऑल ऑफ यू टेल मी क्विकली, समझ रहा है या नहीं? ऑनलाइन शिखा, श्रीरक्षा, श्रेया, सिद्धेश, कीर्ति, अभिजीत, भरत, तनुश्री, सृजन, very good guys, very good, yes, very good. 1 year was still pending. So what does the rule say? That you can't convert into deposit number 2 only for 1 year. You can convert in deposit number 2 for at least, you can say, more than 1 year. कुछ समझा बच्चों? So you're allowed to convert from old rate to new rate only when the conversion, okay, when the conversion is of a more period, more than the remaining period of old deposit. Okay, look at the wordings. If depositor wishes to renew his deposit before maturity rate, for what purpose? To earn higher interest. Company to give higher rate of interest only if deposit renewed is for a period longer than an expired period of earlier deposit. को समझा क्या? देखो, what was the बच्चों, what you can say, what was the unexpired period of deposit number 1? 1 year. Unexpired मतलब pending है ना? Of it was बच्चों of 1 year. So only if the renewal is of more than 1 year, only if the renewal is of more than 1 year, then only what you are allowed to convert into new deposits. Clear all of you? समझा? This is बच्चों just one line given in rule number year 15, but tricky questions can be asked in MCQs. Dates will be given to you and then they will ask you whether it is allowed or not allowed to convert into new deposits. समझा क्या? Everybody, बच्चों, नलायको, बड़े क्या आगे? Yeah, चलो. Return of deposits. Return of deposits to be filed with ROC. Ready बच्चों? So every year, every company has to file DPD 3 now. Okay, DPD 1 we have covered, DPD 2 also we have covered, DPD 3. Okay. So every company to which these rules apply shall honor before 30th June. Please keep this in the dates in mind. Okay. 30th June shall file with ROC what? DPD 3. The return, the details, the data in the DPD 3 shall be as on 31st March. है ना? मतलब क्या? Like financials you prepare as on 31st March. है कि नहीं? But you might be doing the audit and getting that signed, etc. later on. So similarly, DPD 3 you have to file when by 30th June after the end of the year. But the DPD 3 will have data बच्चों as on what? As on 31st March. Simple? Oh nalaiko. Now check. DPD 3 shall also include deposits or transactions not regarded as deposits. कुछ समझा क्या? Or both by every company. Means what? There are certain elements na, which we say these are not a deposit. The exemptions we have seen: loan from bank, then the amount received from government, then intercompany deposits or amount taken from director, or loan, unsecured loan from promoter. Remember, those are exemptions or you can say exceptions to the deposits. Even those figures बच्चों need to be updated in DPD 3. हुआ? बढ़े आगे? 74 is बच्चों for earlier act, so of no use. चलो, damages for fraud. Ready बच्चों? If the company fails to repay the deposit under section 74. 74 are old deposits which were taken before 2013. So 74 and 75 बच्चों both are not important for us. 76 important. 76 बच्चों important. समझा? आ जाओ. Acceptance of deposits from public by certain companies. Okay, from public. Who are बच्चों allowed? Only eligible company. है ना? So public company. Net worth at least 100 or turnover बच्चों at least 500. May accept deposits from non-members बच्चों by passing what? SR. समझा? All of you okay? The company shall be required to obtain credit rating. That CRISIL, CARE, CIBIL, you might have heard about, है ना बच्चों? So require what? Rating also of that company. And will be बच्चों at least once in a year and shall be also put in the form which form DPT3. So DPT3 will include the credit ratings. Okay. DPT3 shall be used to include particulars of deposits or particulars of transactions not considered as deposits. Same thing. DPT3 बच्चों will have both, which are actual deposits and even those amounts received which are not deposits, है ना? Exceptions. Clear? बढ़े आगे. Create a charge on tangible. Please understand this entire chapter talks about what? You can't create charge, or it is of no use creating much charge on intangible property, है ना? Intangible assets. So create a charge बच्चों only on its tangible assets. अरे हाँ या ना? Of an amount not less than the amount of deposits, including interest payable. Underline the word. And not just the principal which amount, also the interest part. And even that should get covered. Okay. Within 30 days of acceptance of deposit, you should do that. So whenever you accepted the money, from there, at least within 30 days, you should get the charge created and get it registered in the favor of trustees. है ना? The charge बच्चों created on the tangible assets of the company will be in the favor of trustees. I hope you understand favor means what? The right to receive. अरे हाँ, ठीक है? Non-compliance of 73, 76 is fine, nothing great. We already know, but I mean, what will you do? Default in deposits, then what I'll say, you can't do new deposits also. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Clear लिया? बढ़ा गया हम लोग बच्चों? किधर है हम लोग? That is okay. Penalties as it is for this chapter is not important. बढ़ा गया हम लोग बच्चों? Ready? Let's go ahead. So on this chapter, please focus on these small rules as well as what did I say? What are not deposits? That is also very important. Okay, everybody? हुआ? चलो, can you go बच्चों in the new, what will I say, new chapter? चलेगा? चार्ज में जाए हम लोग बच्चों? ओ नालायको. And I hope all of you have these forms. I made a summary of the forms, na? Form number, their name, due date, relevant section. This बच्चों everything I have covered. Yes, all of you? बढ़ा गए हम लोग? चलो. Let's start with new. Please cover your compiler. Compiler, all of you asking me, I'll send you the link today. Okay? Many of you are asking me for compiler. Okay, everybody? I'll send you the details again. Those who have not received, I'll send you the link from where you can get the compiler. Okay? But today's is what? Questions. How many are there in the chapter deposits? There are many questions in the chapter deposit also. If you talk about number of pages, कितने pages there? Abhijit? Deposit chapter has how many? Deposit chapter has almost 15 pages, and then you can see almost 2 questions per page. That means there are 30 questions. Yes, almost. है ना? Abhijit, correct? Yes. Approx. Okay. Approx 30 questions are there. Please finish it off today. You will get a good hold on the chapter of deposit also. चलेगा? ठीक है? बढ़े आगे? ओके, कहाँ पे हम लोग बच्चों वॉल्यूम 2 में जाते हैं अभी? फॉर विच चैप्टर? चार्ज. Yes, Abhijit, correct. That is what I'm saying. What are not deposits? That is lots of time that questions are asked. है ना? What are not deposits? See, that is the reason of giving the compiler. It will give you idea what is more important. है ना? है कि नहीं? बढ़ाएंगे बच्चों हम लोग? Let's go ahead, everybody. चलो. New chapter, charge. Again, a very sweet and small chapter. Okay. Typical questions are asked from this chapter. भाई वीडियो क्या हैंग हो गया यार, खतरनाक. ओके, रेडी बच्चों? सॉरी. रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ चार्जेस, है ना? Okay, so what is the charge? So we should always know, na? I have told you so many times that whatever the name of the chapter of that chapter's name, definition we should also always know. Okay, everybody? So what is the charge? Okay, an interest. That means you have some interest in it. Or lien. है ना? In sale of goods that you have learned the word lien. Again, that is creating a right. है ना? Created on the property or assets of a company. Or any of its branch. Undertaking its branch. Or both. As a security. This, I think, wordings you have also done in the contract of pledge. I hope that. है ना बच्चों? And includes a mortgage. Which mortgage is for which kind of property? Immovable. अरे हाँ. Correct, Ilya? Yes. So basically, what is the entire chapter about? That the company bachcho has given loan or what bachcho, or taken loan. What do you think? The company has given loan or taken loan bachcho. What do you think? The company bachcho has given, not given loan, they have taken the loan. And for that taking of the loan, they have given their assets as security by creating a charge on their assets. Are हाँ. So what is the charge? It is about creating a right in favor of the lender. That tomorrow if you do not, or if you are unable to repay the loan, the lender bachcho can recover the money by selling off the assets. अरे हाँ, or by getting hold of those assets. समझा? Simple इसलिए बच्चों. So here in this entire chapter, bachcho, keep the point of view, the mentality that company has taken the loan. Okay? बच्चों बढ़े आगे. चलो. So the creation of right on the assets and properties of the borrower companies is known as charge on assets. So mainly बच्चों in this chapter there will be two parties, borrowing company and the lending bank. क्या बोला मैंने? Borrowing company and the lending bank. Clear? बढ़े आगे. 77. Duty to register charges. Company creating a charge within or even outside India on its property or assets or any of its undertakings, whether tangible or otherwise. Please underline here. Just now we saw exactly opposite here. Just now we are seeing something opposite here. For chapter number 6, charge. Charge created for the purpose of securing the loan. The charge can also be created on intangible assets of the company. Okay? So tangible or otherwise. And situated in or even outside India. Are हाँ, should register. Whose duty is this? The borrowing company's duty it is. To register the charge, particulars means details of the charge, signed by the company and the charge holder together with the instruments. Instruments means the agreement, the contract. The agreement or the contract through which the power is given to the bank. The charge is created in the favor of the bank. That document which is called as instrument. So we have to file this to ROC within how many days? 30 days of creation. What is the difference between charge creation and charge registration? What is the difference between charge creation and charge registration? The charge creation is between the bank and the company. That means there is an agreement that yes, we agree or we understand that the bank has right on our asset. That is creation. Telling this information or giving this information to ROC is called as registration of charge. अरे समझा कि नहीं? All of you okay? अरे बोलो हाँ बच्चों, बोलो ना बोलो. Clearly all of you. Yes. बढ़े आगे. With the register one which within 30 days of creation. Charge may also be created on financial assets like shares or debentures or intangible assets like patent, copyright, trademark also. Important, okay? Chalo. Rule 3. I think I have given the difference between what you pledge, hypothecation and mortgage. Okay, so that is okay. I mean, that is not a very big thing right now. Okay, बढ़े आगे हम लोग. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Rule 3. Okay, this form number CHG1. Along with copy of every instrument. I hope you're understanding copy of every instrument means what instrument we're talking about. The document or agreement through which the charge was created. Samjha? Evidence means giving. Evidence means what? Giving the proof. Okay? Any creation or modification of charge. Okay, the CHG1 will be submitted along with the agreement copy. Okay? So required to be filed with ROC will be what? Verified. Verified means what? Signed. Who will sign that? if the instrument relates to property situated बच्चों solely outside India, if the property on which the charge is created, please pay attention. The property can be in India or outside India. The charge can be created outside India or even inside India, but the charge has to be registered with ROC in India only. अरे हाँ या ना? So property can be outside. I'm saying can be outside. Okay, everybody. The registration बच्चों can be created. The charge can be created outside India. समझ रहे कि नहीं all of you? Clear? So please understand. So the document is about property which is situated बच्चों completely outside India. The copy shall be verified. The agreement copy, okay, shall be verified by a certificate issued, है ना? Proof of the company under company seal of the company, under common seal, or signed by CS, by a director or CS or authorized officer of charge holder. Fine till here? By hand this. But if the बच्चों instrument is for property situated within India, wholly or बच्चों even partly, okay, everybody, some assets are here and some assets are there. The copy shall be bachcho verified by a certificate signed by director or CS or authorized officer of the charge holder. Yes, still here, what difference you have with then here, bachcho? Here we are allowing company seal. If you remember, bachcho, a little bit of section 22, है ना? So we allow if the document is outside India, we allow bachcho power of attorney. Okay, everybody? Just give me 1 minute, bachcho. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, in just 1 minute. So stay here only. Can you go ahead, बच्चों? Are you there? बताओ मुझको. फटाफट 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 कमेंट कमेंट कमेंट. ओ नालायक हो, कमान कमेंट करो फटाफट. कमेंट गाइस. एवरीबॉडी चलो उठो फटाफट. आई होप यू आर नॉट मैचिंग. आई होप यू आर नॉट वाचिंग मैच एंड ऑल. नालायक हो. चलो where were we? Okay, chalo. By what period should you register the charge? So I hope first of all that absolute difference is clear about creation of charge and registration of charge. It is like मतलब agreement to sell and sale. I'm just saying, okay. So first the charge will be created between company and bank, and then this charge will be registered with ROC. Whose duty is that, बच्चों? It is company's duty, okay. The borrowing company's duty to register the charge. Then somebody said ना India won Asia Cup. मुझे लगा मैच चल रहा है क्रिकेट का. I thought so. नहीं ना, कुछ नहीं है ना, no disturbance ना. Okay, चलो तो ध्यान देना. वो charges created on or after 2/1/18. So there was amendment, so earlier ones you can forget. Okay, so check बच्चों within how many days. I'll just quickly come to this table. Within how many days? Okay, okay. किसका मैच था? इंडिया श्रीलंका या पाकिस्तान या नेपाल भूटान? बादल बरसा. I don't know whose match. I don't know. I don't follow cricket much. I don't follow only, except World Cups. Okay, चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. So within how many days बच्चों you should register the charge? Within बच्चों 30 days of creation. First you will create the charge between company and the bank, na, that agreement. So from that agreement date within 30 days you should register the charge. You means who? Company should register the charge. If they miss the date, if they within 30 days they have not done, then you get बच्चों extra 30 days. You get what total? Not total, but you get बच्चों extra 30 days. But because you had missed the first 30 days, then you will be required to pay what? Additional fees. And if you miss those additional 30 days also now, then last chance you have what? Next 60 days. But that will not be free of cost. It will be normal fees plus additional fees, but also ad valorem fees. Ad valorem means what? Add you can say add value. So depending on the value of the charge to be registered, depending on what? Value of the charge to be registered, that fees will be charged. So here we are also going to call it as special fees. In some MCQs, they call this as special type of fees. Okay? Oh, na like, samjha? So is it 30, 30, 60? Check here. Original 30, additional 30, and for further additional 60. Is it clear? Everybody? Okay, Kirti, okay, Srujan. इंडिया won the match. Okay, okay, okay. Great. ठीक है ना? ओलिव ओके. बढ़ू मैं आगे. Expert question on this. A date will be given to you of date of creation of charge, and then they will give you the date when it is actually registered with ROC, and then they will ask you whether normal fees will be required or additional fees is required or ad valorem fees is required, or even that period is expired. The company cannot do only registration. है ना? I mean, in which zone you are exactly right now, that will be asked. Clear? बढ़े आगे. चलो. Too much of theory. है ना? All right, no problem बच्चों. We'll manage this quickly. आई थिंक ये चैप्टर भी आज अपना हो सकता है, तो मज़ा आ जाएगा, है ना? So we can cover at least different part tomorrow, and then we start with one more big chapter, chapter 3 or 4, something like that, है ना बच्चों? गुड थिंग, मतलब एटलीस्ट अपना मेजोरिटी कवर हो रहा है ना? चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट, लेट्स गो. हो गया क्या अपना? ऑलराइट, आ जाओ. So the application for delay shall be made in what much form? CHG. CHG1, remember, that is for registration. If at all you are late, then you'll be filing CHG1 only, or CHG9 for debentures. If you're creating a charge on debentures, also, bacho, then what? You'll file CHG9. Okay. A certificate of registration of such charge shall be issued by registrar. So please understand the sequence. The company went to ROC. The company bacho went to what? ROC for what? Registration of charge. So the ROC will give a proof. Na? The ROC bacho will give an acknowledgement that is particular charge has been registered. Clear, everybody? That bacho will be given in CHG2. That is certificate. But a certificate bacho will be given in the favor of the bank. Are ha ya na? Who is the charge holder here? Who is the charge holder here, बच्चों? बताओ फटाफट. Bank. The bank, the charge holder. So the certificate will be given in the favor of charge holder. That is bank. Who will give the certificate? ROC. What is the form? CHG2. समझा? आगे बढ़े. Section 77(3). Liquidator बच्चों. Liquidator means you are winding up the company, है ना? Then to sell off the, or you are insolvent. Yes, Celia. So whenever you want to sell off the asset of the, whenever you want to sell off the assets of the company and pay off the liabilities, then whose will be appointed? Liquidator. Liquidator, the name itself means what? Liquidator means what? He's going to sell off the assets of the company, है ना? So liquidator appointed under Companies Act or Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, or even any other creditor, not to consider charge unless it is registered and a certificate is issued. Okay, that means what? Even the charge holder becomes unsecured creditor if the charge is not registered with ROC. Very, 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 very important. That means the agreement between company and bank, the agreement between what company and bank is irrelevant, or will not be considered, or which will have no, you can say value only, or you can say rating only, or you can say sequence only, any order, no, nothing. It will be given least priority like an unsecured creditor if that charge is not registered with ROC. You created the charge, but you did not register it, then बच्चों the charge holder will be treated as unsecured creditor. अरे हाँ या ना? समझा? All of you clear? ऑनलाइन सब ठीक? अभिजीत, सृजन, भारत, कीर्ति, शिक्षा, संहिता, आगे बढ़े हम लोग. Okay. However, this does not absolve. Can you give a lecture of MTP, RTP and how to approach exam? Okay. Yeah, we can do that. However, this does not absolve the company's liability of the debt That means, see, the other process can still happen. Means what, bachcho? You can still, the bank can take other legal proceedings. But for company that over here for the charge, it will not be given priority. Okay? Chalo. Next one. 78. The name is gone over here. But application for registration of charge. Application bachcho for what? Registration of charge. Section 80. Okay? Sorry, 78. 80 nahi baba, 78. That means bachcho, if the company fails, अरे हाँ या ना, to register the charge, the charge holder can go to ROC. The charge holder can go to ROC. Okay, clear all of you? And get the charge registered. Okay, everybody? And get the charge registered. Who are everybody? If company fails to register charge within 30 days, the charge holder may apply to ROC with the charge instrument, because he has the proof now, so he can go to ROC and say, see, this charge we had created, get it registered now. है ना? On such application, the ROC shall send a notice to company, and within 14 days of such notice, register the charge. कुछ समझा कि नहीं समझा बच्चों? Who is going to who? Now tell me फटाफट बच्चों, who is going to who? The bank is going to ROC. Why बच्चों bank is going to ROC? Because the company did not go to ROC. The company bachcho did not go to ROC. That's why, to protect its own interest, the bank had to go to the ROC and get the charge registered. Here, understood here? So bank will ask the proof. What is the proof you have? Why are you coming here? Why the company has not yet come? You know? So the bank will ask proof. The ROC will ask proof. The bank will submit the charge instrument. Now here the ROC will send a notice to company. The ROC will send a notice to company that, see, this bank has come and trying to create a charge on your assets. Do you agree or not agree? Replies within 14 days. If the company bachcho as it is does not reply within 14 days, the ROC bachcho will obviously register the charge. If the company has any issue, then they will tell the ROC that there is some legal dispute, etc., etc., etc. Samjha? Nalai ko clear? Important. The charge holder means who, bachcho? Who is the charge holder? Bank can recover the fees paid to ROC from the company, because it was initially earlier duty of who, bachcho? Company, na, 77. Because company failed, that's why bachcho bank is going. Therefore, bank can recover the fees paid to ROC from the company. Jepa? Clear? All of you, बोलो फटाफट. अरे बोलो हाँ, समझा कि नहीं? बड़े हम लोग आगे बच्चों. Everybody, बोलो. 79. Section 77 to apply in certain cases. What is 77? Okay बच्चों. It is बच्चों modification of charge. मैंने क्या बोला? Modification of charge. Yes, या फिर if at all the property is already charged and somebody else is buying that property, or somebody now third party bachcho is buying property which is already charged. अरे हाँ या ना? That is bachcho modification of charge. Check here bachcho. I'll just give you an example here. Lakshmi Bachcho Bank gave a loan to Vishak AC Cooling Private Limited. Loan, okay? And Vishak's plant and machinery bachcho what were charged. Is it okay here? Vishak's company's plant and machinery bachcho were charged. Now Vishak's company, they want to sell off this plant and machinery to Atharva Ice Cream Private Limited. अरे हाँ या ना? Everybody okay लियो? समझा कि नहीं समझा? So this is बच्चों who is buying what charged property? Atharva Ice Cream Private Limited bachcho is buying a property which is already subject to charge. Yes, still here? That's why in this case also bachcho section 79 will come into picture. Chalega? Understood? There are two scenarios. What is scenario number one? That Atharva bachcho is not coming into picture. These are two guys only. Who? The borrowing company and the lending bank. And they change some terms and agreement. They change it. In that case also section 79 will come into picture. Modification. And what is the second scenario? That third company is coming into picture and they are buying the property which is already subject to charge. For these two scenarios overall, we have section 79. समझा क्या? ओ नलायको. ठीक है, तनुश्री, वैष्णवी, भरत, आर्यो, शेट्टी, सिद्धेश, सृजन, कीर्ति, कामठे, शिक्षा, समिता, तेजस, obviously required, obviously required, obviously required. हुआ everybody? What subject बच्चों are you finding most difficult in group 1? Can you give me the list or the subject बच्चों which you are finding very very tough overall बच्चों? Or are you counting on law that law will help you to score good marks? Huh? Which subject are you finding most difficult to manage? बोलो फटाफट. Everybody's pain. Oh my god. Okay, आ रहे बेटा. Everybody has different pain only, correct? Oh my god. Oh my god, Kirti. Okay. There are too many things to remember. Even GST is lots of theoretical also, actually, honestly. So lots of laws to remember for just 40 marks. You know? And DT is an ocean. DT is an ocean for 60 marks. Yes, I agree. What to do? Many, many things. Practice a lot. You need lots of practice. I mean, at least looking at the PYQ, MTP, RTP. That will help you. Okay? MTP, RTP, PYQ will help you a lot. Okay? तुम जितना ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस हाँ, too much of theory ना in GST, too much of theory. What to do? GST also too much of theory. Other laws also too much of theory. GST at least theory is logical, we understand. है ना? Other laws, so that theory is like you have to by heart. See, I always suggest बच्चों always go for smaller chapters first. है ना? See, cover small but cover big. Don't really cover big chapters first and then you'll be bachcho under too much of. See, out of 100 marks, even if you're able to, I'm just giving you some example. I'm not saying you have to follow that. But out of 100 marks, if at all you're able to write even 80 marks good paper, good, then still you have a good scope of clearing. Okay? है कि नहीं? Remaining 20 marks, if even if you write something, thoda thoda, कच्चा पक्का, is fine. You should get decent marks. Understood? So don't leave, please, anything for option. Okay, everybody? Last two chapter means GCA and interpretation, are you saying? General clause and interpretation, na? So that two I will cover. Okay, general clause and interpretation I will cover. And it is, I honestly, whatever I teach, it is illogical because here over there you have to, those chapters you have to by heart. Okay, read it again and again and again. है ना? Negotiable, I will suggest always do. I mean, I personally, what do I say? Do the first part of the chapter. I mean, the starting ones, which are logical, and directly jump to section 138, etc. In negotiable instruments. Check dishonor. Okay. Then in contract act, special contracts. Again, the overall, if I talk about contract agency, is also it's very huge, very you can say large concepts. So again, I'll suggest over there, cover it once, but practice MTB, RTB, PYQ a lot. Okay, then you get an idea that which questions are kind of repeated. the idea. That's why I had made this compiler. That is the only reason. I know that. It is actually very late. I mean, this I realized from 2019 itself that people have trouble with negotiable instruments. And every batch I give them recommendation, do MTP, RTP, PYQ only. Don't break your own head on understanding. In fact, spend more time in practicing repeated questions. Contract is easy to understand, but it's just huge. And like I said, 90% of the times the questions are repetitive in nature. Okay. हुआ? Yeah. See, in other laws, I think the easiest is contract, honestly. Okay. And then I think general clauses act, then interpretation, and then negotiable, I feel. Okay. So you have to then prioritize the chapters which you want to do first and which later. है ना? बढ़े आगे हम लोग? Any other doubt, please ask. Even in DT, I will suggest don't leave the chapters of TDS, etc. Okay, TDS advanced tax. Even if you are not very much confident about it, etc., don't leave chapters. In fact, PGBP, etc., you can keep it at the end. PGBP is very wide, very huge chapter. You can keep it at the end. Do small ones, the carry forward setup. How much time it takes? iOS, income from other sources, carry forward setup. They are hardly done in hardly 1 or 2 days. You will be done also with those chapters. Then the chapter of this one, which one? The return of income. And that is completely theory based. So even that will take time to read, but it is actually there is no practice over there, nothing writing over there. Again, so again, those small you can cover quickly. Your what I will say, heads of income, and then lastly go to this total income is what I personally prefer and suggest. Okay, हुआ? चलो, let's come back here. Chalo, let's go ahead, everybody. If I get time, then we'll see what else more we can do. Okay, but please be active on WhatsApp or Telegram or anywhere and tell me, sir, we need this, we need that. I may not come for 2.5 hours, but at least 1 hour, if at all, we can keep that practice. Na, it will be good. We'll do something. है ना? चलेगा? बढ़े आगे? 79 to 77. चलो, 79 is what, बच्चों? I told you. Amendment or कैसे modification of charge. So section 29 covers two cases. Section 29, बच्चों, what covers? Two cases. Okay. One relates to acquisition of any property which is already subject to charge. I gave you example that Atharva Ice Creams is buying plant and machine of Vishak AC, but his plant and machine which is already charged with Lakshmi Bank. है ना? That is one case. Other one which relates to modification of the terms contracts of the charge between the lending bank and the borrower company. Okay. So in both the cases, another registration in place of existing one becomes necessary. That means modification. है ना? तो 79 बच्चों A and B. Company acquiring any property subject to charge. Atharva Ice Cream बच्चों buying property of Vishak AC Cooling Private Limited. Plant and machinery which was subject to charge already. है ना? Same example. So pay attention. A property where charge is already registered and if it is sold with the permission of the holder of charge. है ना? Understood, Abhijit? So we require bank's permission. It shall be duty of company acquiring it. Underline, important. Whose duty now? The buying company, the company which is going to buy that property. Okay. It is duty of company acquiring it to get the charge registered as per section 77. Okay, everybody. That is the earlier charge should get vacated. That means earlier charge means what? Now this plant and machinery is gone, na? This plant and machinery which is gone to Atharva Ice Cream. So Vishak has nothing to do with Lakshmi Bank now. So Vishak's bachcho name will be vacated, will be removed. Okay, as a data, as a you can say borrower, and Atharva's bachcho name will be replaced with that. Huh? So duty of company acquiring it to get the charge registered as per section 77. That is, the earlier charge should get vacated, and in its place, new charge should get registered by the company which has acquired it. Clear till here, all of you? चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. Second, बच्चों, what do we have here? Modification of charge. That means what? The third party is not coming into picture, but the borrowing company and the bank, they are changing some terms and conditions between themselves. So variation of any of the terms of agreement, including variation of rate of interest, which is by mutual agreement or by operation of law. That means the matter went into the court, and the court said this rate is so and so. You can say very exorbitant or high or not correct. Then the rate can change because of law, legal process, or because of what mutual agreement. Okay, so that is the name. That is what modification of charge. Okay, the provisions applicable to the registration of a charge under section 77 shall apply to modification of charge. Means what? 77 will apply to 79 also. What did I say? 77 will apply to 79 also. Means what? Now, wherever you are modifying the charge, all the rules of 77 will also apply to 79. Whenever you are modifying the charge, all the rules of 77 will also will be applicable to 79. Means what? When you modify the charge between you and the bank, within 30 days, the company has to go and register the charge. Within 30 days, the company has to go and register the charge. समझा कि नहीं? So same process of 77 also applicable in 79. समझा? Then examples of charge. Okay, huh. Examples of charge modification: increasing or decreasing the limits of your cash credit, change in repayment schedule of the loan. You are prepaying the loan, or you can say extending the loan period, loan tenure, change in rate of interest, hiring or lowering, increasing or decreasing, partial release of the charge on a particular asset or property. Okay, where modification is by ceding a pari passu charge. Okay, or induction, that means bringing a new bank into picture. Yes, चलिए बढ़े आगे हम लोग. चलो, the registrar shall issue a certificate of modification, but in which form? CHG3. So we have done CHG1, we have done CHG2, now which is CHG3 also. Okay, बढ़े आगे हम लोग. All right. Very important section. Date of notice of charge. Important ना बच्चों? Date of notice of charge. Pay attention. Date of notice of charge. Any person acquiring any property, assets, or undertakings or other part thereof, or any share of the interest therein, shall be deemed to have notice of the charge from the date of such charge registration. It is deemed to be a considered notice. But you have done already the concept of considered notice. Means what? It is like a deemed public. It is like a deemed public notice. Are हाँ. So whenever anybody, what is the point? What is the section 80 about? That whenever anybody buys property of a company, whenever anybody buys property of the company, that buyer is deemed to have knowledge or notice. That buyer is what? Deemed to have knowledge or notice that this particular property has already been subject to charge. Then in spite of that, if you buy the property, it is you are buying it at own risk. अरे हाँ या ना, कुछ समझा ऊपर से गया. But from which date? But from the date of such registration. It is deemed as constructive notice. Okay? All of you understood or no? The day on which you register the charge with ROC, not create the charge. The day on all the charges which are registered. अरे हाँ या ना, समझा? So in spite of that, you are buying the charge property. It is you are buying it, but you at your own risk. You will not get a better title, or you can say a good title as compared to the bank. समझा? All of you okay earlier? बढ़ू क्या आगे? हुआ बच्चों? बोलो. All of you okay? All right. 81 is not there in the syllabus also, that is okay. 82. company to report satisfaction of charge. Same story like 77. Now in 77 बच्चों what we did, that your charge was getting registered, so you informed the ROC. Yes, Shelia? In 82 बच्चों what is happening now? Exactly opposite. That बच्चों charge is getting satisfied. When it's over, satisfied means what बच्चों over, है ना? Entire liability is paid off. Only if your entire liability is paid off, only then बच्चों you'll register or you'll inform the ROC. Okay? Thus, part payment need not be common sense, need not be reported to the ROC. समझा? Satisfaction which happens when the amount is not repaid, but an asset of equal value is offered in place of property being released from charge. A particular property is getting released. Instead of that, you're giving some another property as security. That is called as satisfaction. But at least that property is getting released, nah. Yes. So check. Within 30 days of such satisfaction of charge, you have to what? Now, whenever the charge is satisfied, that property is released, between you and the banker. From that date, within 30 days, you have to notify the ROC. If not done within 30 days, then extra what you maximum you get is what? 300 days for the purpose of registration of satisfaction. Okay, everybody? Samjha? So we have done CHG 1, 2, 3. Now 4. 4 is for what? Satisfaction. Who is going to who? The company is going to ROC for satisfaction of charge. हुआ बच्चों? ठीक है, आगे बढ़े. On receipt of intimation, who is gone to who now? Company to ROC saying that this charge is over. Then the ROC will confirm from bank. ROC बच्चों to send notice to a charge holder to show cause as to why. Basically, within 14 days reply. Otherwise, we will satisfy the charge. समझा? Is it okay? All of you? But such notice need not be sent to the bank if this CHG4 already has the sign of the banker also. अरे कुछ समझ रहे कि नहीं बच्चों? Who is going to who? The company is going to ROC saying that this charge is over. Then ROC will confirm from bank. But the ROC need not send a notice to bank if the application made by company to ROC already has signature of the bank. समझा? So that means there is a confirmation from the bank also that this charge is satisfied. We agree with that. किसने बोला? बैंक ने बच्चों लिख के दिया. Clear? खतरनाक लैग आ रहा है वीडियो में. ठीक है, बढ़ा गया हम लोग बच्चों. If no cause is received, means who? The bank. If the bank has no objection, okay, ROC shall order that memorandum, means again understanding, of satisfaction shall be entered in the register of charges maintained by him. Even he has the register, na? Even he has much documentation. That much over there, he will mention what? That this particular charge has been registered. And again, he will issue a certificate. Now to the company. Now what to the company regarding what? Satisfaction of charge. समझे बच्चों? All of you okay? Clear na? So here the certificate which will be given to company that this your charge has been full finalized or done. हुआ बच्चों? बढ़े आगे हम लोग. Next one. Power of ROC to make entries of satisfaction and release in absence of intimation from company. Section 82 बच्चों just now we did है कि नहीं बच्चों? Section what? Which one we did? 82. Clear? What is बच्चों 82? Company to report na satisfaction of charge. Company बच्चों will go to what? ROC. That our charge is over. But if company fails, anybody else can also intimate the ROC that his charge has been satisfied. समझा बच्चों? Is it okay? ओ नलायको. All of you okay? बोलो फटाफट. बढ़ो आगे में. when the property subject to a charge is sold to a third party. Actually, I think we had taken this example. Vishak sells his company's plant and machinery to Atharva company. अरे हाँ, and on this बच्चों what? The charge was registered. है कि नहीं बच्चों? The charge was created. बराबर है? So the property subject to a charge is sold to third party, and neither the original company nor the original bank has intimated the ROC regarding satisfaction of earlier charge. I hope you're understanding this example. Vishak's name will be removed now. Originally, the agreement was between whom? Originally, the agreement was between Lakshmi Bank and Vishak. Correctly clear? Now, Vishak sold his assets to Atharva. So, Vishak's name should be removed from the record of ROC. Neither Vishak, neither Lakshmi Bank bacho went to ROC. So, bacho, who went over there? Atharva bacho went and said, remove Vishak's name. Are haan. So, this is bacho what? Absence of reporting by company. Which company? The borrowing company, original company. Yes, still here? So, Atharva bacho is going to ROC and saying that remove Atharva's name. Sorry, Atharva is going to ROC and saying that remove Vishak's name from, or you can say satisfy the charge. Okay, satisfy the charge, which was in the name of Vishak. So obviously, ROC is going to ask for proof, na? Who are you? Who's asking who, bacho? ROC bacho asking Atharva, who are you? Me to register the charge of satisfaction for, to satisfy the charge for Vishak. What proof do you have? Getting my point, everybody? Yes? So check. ROC has the authority to make an entry in the register even if company has not intimated him. For that, bacho, we require simply bacho what? Evidence. Simple. What do we want, bacho? Evidence. Okay. So evidence should be submitted to ROC regarding registered charge that the charge has been paid or satisfied in whole or in part, or the part of the property undertaking has been released from the charge or has ceased to be part of company's property or undertaking. The point is that it is no more a property of the company. That evidence should be given to the ROC, or that particular loan has been repaid. That evidence should be given to the ROC. ROC may enter in his register of charges a memorandum of satisfaction that debt has been satisfied in whole or part, or the fact that property is no more has been released or ceases to be part of the company. Hua? ROC shall intimate both the parties within how many days? 30 days. Who are the affected parties? Your borrowing company and the lending bank. And again CHG 5 of satisfaction of charge certificate. ऊपर बच्चों वही था ना, CHG 5 ही था ना, for satisfaction of charge. हुआ कि नहीं? All of you okay? बढ़े आगे हम लोग. Manager receiver never, questions are never asked on this. Okay. See, the company, okay, sorry, the bank, the lending bank can appoint a manager or receiver for the property. So it is simply that whenever a manager or receiver is appointed for the management of the property, the manager or receiver shall intimate. He shall give notice of such appointment to company and ROC. Okay. And even if he leaves, that time also he has to give the notice to company and ROC that I am leaving the job or I am leaving the work as a receiver or manager. Okay. Agla. Company's register of charges. Okay, everybody. Ready, bacho? Company's register of charges. Every company shall keep at its registered office a register of charges in what was CHG 7. Okay. And shall include all details and floating charges affecting any property or assets of the company and any of its branches. A copy of the instrument creating the charge shall also be kept along with the register of charges. This is bacho whose register? ROC's register or company's register bacho we are talking about here. This is bacho company's register. समझा? ठीक है? हाँ. The register of charges, star mark this, shall be preserved permanently, and the instrument creating a charge or modification thereon shall be preserved for a period of 8 years. Okay, check here. You will maintain the register as well paid after that for at least 8 years. You have to maintain the documents. समझा? This register बच्चों as well as the instrument. हुआ कि नहीं? All of you okay? ओ माय गॉड, है ना? हुआ क्या बच्चों? आ जाओ. A very important difference you have to understand: fixed and floating charge. Okay, everybody? Fixed and floating charge. Fixed means it is what you identified for a particular asset. And yeah, na? It is what you identified for a particular, exactly we can identify for which asset it is. That is fixed charge. Correct? In both the cases, but what is common? You can obviously what utilize. You can what obviously utilize for your own business. So no issue about it. Okay? But floating charge, what will happen? It is but on a particular category of assets. Not on a particular identified asset, but on a category of assets. Example, book debts or a stock. Book dates or what stock. Now the book dates, that is datas. Okay, datas means what? Book dates means what? Datas. So the datas or stock will keep on fluctuating on daily basis. Will keep on what? Fluctuating on daily basis. Can you utilize it and sell it? Can you utilize it and sell it? Yes. The stock, whatever stock you have, it is what your raw material or WIP or FG, okay, finished goods. Tomorrow you're going to sell it, obviously, yes or no, to get the money. So in floating charge, on whatever category of assets the charge is created, that is allowed to be what? Sold. But fixed asset, not fixed asset, the fixed charge is created on those assets, but those assets which cannot be sold without the permission of the lending bank. Samjha, everybody? The fixed charge is created on identifiable property. Okay? Or specific assets like land, building, machinery. This is identifiable, na? That this particular land, not the other land. I may have 10 machines, but only on one I have created the charge. Hai na? So only we are talking of very specific asset. So when a charge is created on such asset, the charge remains fixed. And the borrowing company is not permitted to sell such assets, even though obviously they may use it. No doubt about it. A fixed charge is created by way of mortgage or deposit of title deeds. Title means obviously bachcho ownership, hai na? So you give the paper itself to the bank. Assets under fixed charge can be sold only with the permission of the bank. That is also okay. A fixed charge is vacated bachcho when the money borrowed against the asset subject to charge is repaid in full. Simple. Clear here. All okay. बढ़ते आगे. Whereas floating charge bachcho is done on a class of assets which constantly keeps on changing or fluctuating in value, na? Like stock or data. Samjha? All of you okay? The assets under floating charge keep on changing because borrowing companies are allowed to use them for producing final goods for sale. So tomorrow, बच्चों obviously you're going to sell them also, ना? अरे हाँ है ना? बराबर है? A floating charge which remains dormant means floating only until it becomes fixed or crystallized. On crystallization, the security, that is raw material stock and trade, becomes fixed and is available for selling off so that the borrowed money is repaid. See, fluctuates. Floating charge will be floating only unless the banks convert it into fixed. Now, when the floating is converted into fixed, means what will happen? Whatever stock is there right now as it is, that will be taken and sold by the bank. Okay. So crystallization of floating charge may occur when the terms and conditions of floating charge are violated by the company. Okay. And ceases to continue its business, or the company which ceases to continue its business, or company goes into liquidation, or the creditors which enforce the security covered by the floating charge, etc. That it means even the creditors are running and trying to recover the money from the floating charge assets. है ना बच्चों? Clear? हुआ गया? The ratio of charges maintained by the company बराबर है. Can be inspected during business hours subject to reasonable restrictions. Who can check? Any member or creditor without any payment of fees, but anybody else बच्चों wants to check, then बच्चों on payment of fees. हुआ? All of you okay? That is okay. 86 is okay, nothing great. 87, expert question on this. 87 बच्चों expert question on this. बढ़ेगा आगे हम लोग. बच्चों? Rectification by CG in register of charge. Now this is बच्चों register of charges of ROC. Whose register of charge बच्चों? Of payment or satisfaction of a charge within the time required. Do you remember the time बच्चों? You have initially बच्चों how many days? 30 days. Section 82. Section बच्चों what? 82. अरे हाँ यार, just now we saw section बच्चों which one? 82. हो गया था क्या वो? Yes, 82. Company report satisfaction of charge. समझा? So if the company fails, है ना, to report satisfaction of charge within 30 days, as well as even beyond the extended period of 300 days also. Clear or no? The original 30 days they did not report. Even in the extended period of 300 days also it forgot or did not intimate the ROC about satisfaction of charge. Clear all of you? That is reason number one. Or there is some omission or misstatement, or there is a mistake now, omission बच्चों omitted or misstatement in any charge created, modified, satisfied under section 82 or 83 file with ROC, है ना? Clearly there is some error basically, omission or misstatement in these two cases. So basically in section 87 बच्चों will come into picture for these two cases. Okay, company has not done not reported satisfaction of charge, or there is omission or misstatement in case of section 82 or 83 filed with ROC. Already filed with ROC है बच्चों. The CG में direct means order. The time for giving the intimation of payment or satisfaction measure shall be extended. That means बच्चों, if even if you are very much late after 300 days also, then you can report to ROC the satisfaction of charge only if allowed by central government. अरे हाँ या ना? समझा बच्चों? बोलो फटाफट. All of you okay till here? Everybody बोलो. Clear till here all of you? आगे क्या हो गया? Or as the case may be, require that omission or misstatement may be what rectified. So any of these reasons, whatever is the issue of the company or trouble of the company, that will be what solved by the government. है ना? It will either extend the period for satisfaction reporting or correct the mistake done in the register of charges. Only if on being satisfied that such lapse was accidental. Means what do you mean by accidental? What do you mean by accidental? On being satisfied that such lapse was accidental. Okay, गलती से मिस्टेक, बराबर बच्चों? Or due to inadvertence. My goodness, what is the word now? Inadvertence. Okay, unintentional. Correct. गलती से mistake, genuine mistake, honest mistake. Or the nature is not prejudicial, means not harmful to the interest of creditors. Yes, still here, everybody? अरे हाँ या ना, everybody? So only if the company thinks this was genuine, है ना? There is no guilty mind or not done anything purposely. So then government has power to rectify the register of charges, है ना? Give the order. Application for continuation of delay or rectification, I mean, company is going to apply, will be in CHG 8. है ना? So the same point I'm repeating. If at all you have forgotten within 300 days, if at all you have forgotten to register the satisfaction within 300 days, then the ROC has power to satisfy the charge only on approval of government. है ना? For that, but you'll have to go to government. समझा? Check here now. One small thing I want to cover. Ready, बच्चों? Rule 13. Inserted with effect from 29/8/22. This was an amendment. I think this is already covered in your RTP, I think. Okay, RTP. So again, I'm just going into the basics. Hardly one line is given over there. But if your bad luck is also bad, then बच्चों, then question may be asked. Something different. Signing of charge e-forms. Charge. First of all, this is chapter of charge. Electronic forms. The entire syllabus of what companies at. All the forms, whatever we fill to the forms and all we fill to the MCA, they're all e-forms, electronic forms, PDF. Signing of charge e-forms by insolvency resolution professional or resolution professional or liquidator of the companies under or for companies under resolution or liquidation. The form number CHG 1489 must also be signed by insolvency resolution professional by these guys. Okay, as applicable for companies under resolution or liquidation, as the case may be filed with ROC. Now, what happens? Basically, all these forms will also can also be signed, not also be signed, we must also be signed by insolvency resolution professional. If at all the company is if the company is into liquidation, only if the company is into what liquidation. Okay. See, the MCA has now allowed. I'm giving you for extra knowledge. If the MCA has allowed interim resolution professionals (IRP) or resolution professionals and liquidators to file necessary e-forms. I mean, even they are given the power now. Okay, for creation, alteration, satisfaction of charges during corporate insolvency resolution process. Insolvent. This move, which has been effected through amendment by company's rules, has now removed ambiguity on the power of these guys. Okay, so previously creation and for creation and alteration charges, it could be done but only at the instant. That means who could do it? Only former management. That means directors only. But once the corporate insolvency has been started, these guys also, these IRP, RP, liquidator, which comes into shoes of the board of directors. So they are now allowed. So basically, the board of directors lose power to make any filings on behalf of the company. So these guys are allowed, and they will be signing all the CHG forms in case the company is into liquidation. Just keep that much in mind. That's it. What is IRP? That everything is given away. Okay. Insolvency resolution professional. Okay, or resolution professional or liquidator. Okay, that was an amendment over there. Clear to everybody? अरे बोलो हाँ. हुआ क्या? All of you? Done all of you? इसके कितने क्वेश्चन है अभिजीत? I think Abhijit has the compiler. Who also have compiler? Vaishnavi? Anybody else out of you have compiler? बताओ फटाफट. How many questions है इसके? चार्ज. कितने पेजेस है चार्ज के? 14 नहीं. Charge is 16, almost 17, 16 pages. Again, same thing, almost 2 questions per page. So, a lot of questions है charge in the compiler. Okay, everybody? And there are good questions. There are good questions, okay? Define charge or what is the date of notice of charge? Those questions are there. Okay, everybody? MCQs were asked for how many years but you have to register you have to maintain the register of charges. For how many years you have to maintain the register of charges. Okay? And that question is coming many times. कौन सा वाला? Section 77. I'll just quickly highlight one more time. Pay attention here. This has been repeated n number of times. Which one? What is the documentation required? This one. Rule number 3, page, if it all in my textbook. This one. For the documentation of registration of charge. Then who shall sign the registration, the charge, okay, the charge documents, okay. See, when you start section 77, that time, if it depends on two things, if the property is fully outside India, or the property is what, wholly or partly in India. Okay, everybody, that is repeating many times, that question. Not done, all of you? Then that question of 30, 30, 60 days, that also is coming many times. Kaun sa wala? That company credited charge on so and so date. It forgot to register the charge by so and so date. Now can it do so? And if yes, then what are the fees applicable, etc. And for that again, but section 77, you will put down those rules. Okay. Clear till here, all of you? अच्छे अच्छे क्वेश्चन है बच्चों कंपाइलर में भी. ओके, गुड क्वेश्चंस. If you seriously have a very big problem with law, then I will recommend. Otherwise, then if at all you can manage on your own, then it is okay. Okay. See, there is no use of buying the compiler if your law concepts itself are very weak or if you don't know the provisions. If your concepts are clear and if you remember the provisions, then I will say this is a must. You should have it. Then this will ensure you'll get 60 plus above minimum. I'm telling you minimum. Okay. Clear to all of you? I think I've already given the links for compiler. Those who still want, I'll share it again. I think I received your messages as it is of some of you. I have to reply to some of them. Today or maybe today or tomorrow I will message. Okay, everybody. And as it is, you can see my number over here, everybody. If you have any doubts, anything to talk about, anything, let it be of income tax, GST, or law also. Okay, I may or may not reply in time, but at least you can message and be part of our group. Okay, everybody. Please study nicely, sincerely, अच्छे से. Okay, please dedicate the whatever remaining time is there now. 40 days almost now, बच्चों. What 40 days now? Only to yourself. Nobody else. No function, this and that. Even if it is very, very necessary, hardly take out half an hour, 1 hour here and there. Nothing else. There should be no distraction. There is no Sunday. There is no Monday. No other different. No day makes a difference. Every day henceforth. Please, I'm telling you this sincerely again and again and again. This I tell daily only. Okay, bachcho. Be at most sincere. Clearly, this time doesn't come again and again. Every exam is after 6 months. If you don't give your time to yourself right now, you'll regret. And then again, you'll be waiting for next month, the next attempt. The next attempt will come in new syllabus. Who will read a new syllabus? That results also will come when? है ना? Imagine ना बच्चों that. May 24 examination, that result बच्चों will come in when again? July 24. So as of today, if you don't study, your future hangs in mystery up to what? July 24. समझ रहे हो all of you? है ना? So why unnecessarily put things into the unknown? Instead of that, get the things clarified. Get the studies बच्चों right now only अच्छे से. In such a way that your group is clear. At least group 1. So you have the advantage in May 24 बच्चों of giving only 2 papers. Those exemptions have already been बच्चों declared now. है कि नहीं बच्चों? है कि नहीं? GST, there are extra 5 chapters more in May 24 attempt. I'm teaching that right now. New syllabus. You will have to learn all the new accounting standards. Whatever. Why? Why, Dada? Why? Are you getting my point, everybody? So please don't leave things. Tell me बच्चों, समझ में आ रहा सभी को? You still have time. You can't do miracle in last 1 or 2 weeks. Impossible. There is no point in crying later on. समझा? और अभी ओके चलो बच्चों, ठीक है? Tomorrow also we are going. Okay, all of you? अरे बोलो हाँ. बाकी ओके बच्चों, बाकी ठीक है, बोलो फटाफट. और कुछ डाउट है, कुछ इश्यू है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स है, यू कैन ऑलवेज टॉक. ऑल ओके ना एवरीबॉडी? चलो गाइस देन, आई होप यू हैव अ गुड टाइम. अभी मस्त खाना खाओ, पढ़ाई करो, थोड़ा ब्रेक लो, एंड अगेन आफ्टर 1 hour स्टार्ट विद योर स्टडीज. ओके एवरीबॉडी? यू कैन स्टार्ट समथिंग प्रैक्टिकल अभी, मतलब कॉस्टिंग या टैक्स, वॉट एवर यू वांट, है ना? रात को नाइट जल्दी बच्चों कीप प्रैक्टिकल सब्जेक्ट्स व्हेन यू आर अवेक. At least your hands will be moving, numbers will be moving, and so. So you'll be at good focus. समझा बच्चों? All of you okay? अरे बोलो हाँ. ठीक है, मैं जाऊँ फिर? ओ ना लायको. ठीक है ना एवरीबॉडी? एवरीबॉडी ओके टिल हियर? What we had learned, Kriti, in class, that is correct. Huh? What we had learned in class, that was correct. Don't worry about that. Okay? Hmm. But बाकी का focus nicely. है ना? Whatever you have done. Practice a lot is what I'm just saying to you again and again and again. Okay? Practice a lot. ठीक बच्चों? चलो then guys, good night. चलो फटाफट good night कर दो messages में. Come on, come on, come on. Good night, good night, good night कर दो बच्चों message में फटाफट. And commit to yourself that you will study a lot. Commit to yourself बच्चों that you will study a lot. Now is the time to prove. Now is the बच्चों time to shine. समझा क्या? Okay all of you? ठीक है अरे बोलो हाँ. जय हिंद दोस्तों. गुड नाइट गाइस. आरदिया बेटा बाय बाय. गुड नाइट. अभिजीत यस. टाटा गाइस. गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट, गुड नाइट. बाय बाय, बाय बाय, बाय बाय. Somebody is deleted. Okay, no problem. I think did you message on my Telegram group? Was your name Sashank? Good night, beta. Yogi, I don't know. I'll put it again. I'll put it again. Don't worry. Message me also on WhatsApp if you want. I'll give it to you. Shika, good night, beta. Yes. Shetty, Vaishnavi Shetty, good night. Anna, I hope you're studying well. Don't be overconfident this time, okay? Shreya, good night. Anushri, Kirti, good night, guys. Samita, Sri Raksha, Srujan, Kamte, Siddesh, good night, guys. Bye bye. Arya, good night. Yes. Bye, guys. So take care. Tata. मिलते हम लोग ओके. We'll meet tomorrow for chapter of dividend. And then we'll also start with chapter number 3 कौन सा? Prospectus and allotment. है ना?